All right. So, are you aware of George Lucas's statement towards Vader and his power compared to Palpatine by the end of Revenge of the Sith?
Like at the end of the Revenge of the Sith.
I'm sorry, not like directly like at the end of the movie,
Wait,
but like
wait, no, I
compared
I didn't agree to Revenge of the Sith Vader. I agreed to the Return of the Jedi. But
Return to. Oh, okay, my bad.
yeah,
I I always get those.
I yeah, my bad, my bad. I didn't mean Revenge of the Sith. I don't know why I said that. I meant Return of the Jedi.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So episode 6 Vader and episode 9 Kylo. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Um, so still, are you aware of George Lucas's statement about Vader's power being 80% of the Emperor's?
In Episode 3.
No, in episode 6.
Um. Wait. I mean, yeah, but what Vader is he talking about?
He's talking about the Vader towards the end. He's sorry, let me not look at general real quick.
Well,
Okay.
hold on. Start by showing me the statement. Let's start with.
Yeah, sure. Let me go get it. Let's see. Sorry, no, I'm just looking through right now.
Yeah, you're good.
My bad. You know what? Honestly, I can't find this statement, so I'm fine with dropping that point.
All right.
Um, Still, the whole point of him like losing his limbs at the end of Revenge of the Sith, like actively inhibited like his power in the Force and his potential has been stated to be less than Kylo, and Kylo's potential has been stated to be greater.
I would say that that like yes, even though Darth Vader is like let's say the picosecond he's put in the suit that he is weaker, but I think that he gets like well, shall you say, an anger amp immediately after he finds out that what Padme is dead, and then in Return of the Sith, I'm not Return of the Sith, fucking Return of the Jedi. He's just stated to be like as strong as ever in the Force.
Can you show me that statement?
Yeah, sure.
No, yeah, I know the statement is like somewhere in this vid Sajin, but I've already dropped the point anyway, so it doesn't matter.
See, here, here, here. There it is. This is the Return of the Jedi novel.
Let's see.
Greater, his power was greater than. Well, it doesn't say in the Force, but it just says his power was greater than it ever has been before.
Gotcha.
I do not, but it is in the. Hold on. Let's see. But I don't think there are any other contexts that would be necessary for that. Because the whole okay, if you want like because, oh okay, it's in the Return of the Jedi novelization. There's another statement that basically says the same thing, but
If you want to grab that statement too, I don't mind.
okay,
I have a refutation for both, but I'd like to see the other one as well.
okay. So that's the other one.
So the thing is, in episode, I believe it was episode 8. So this is even before like Kylo's peak in power. There's a statement made directly by Luke when he's first training Rey, and this is this what is that word? Oh my gosh. This is related to the topic at hand because Rey is stated to be relative to Kylo, if not
Yeah,
inferior to Kylo, throughout the entire sequel saga. That her power is reminiscent to what he felt from Ben when he was just a Jedi at that point. I can go grab that statement really quick. 1 second.
I think I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about when they both like when she does like the training on the planet, and then he says like, "Oh, I've only seen that kind of power once." I mean, yeah, I get the statement because I want his exact wording before I review. Okay,
No, yeah, and if you want, we can go over the actual like movie scene because I have Disney
okay,
Plus open. So
okay. So, well, Gump, he already dropped it. So I think that okay.
So
So
I didn't drop the 80% of the power. I just I did enforce the idea that his power is inhibited by his limbs getting cut off. But I did drop the 80% of George Lucas's statement.
oh yeah, yeah. I think I agree that his potential was inhibited by the limb by the
Okay,
but
that's fine.
I would say that this statement is important because it specifically says raw power, not like trained, um, like controlled power.
Hmm.
So even though Rey can have more raw power than Vader, Vader's power can just be controlled. So like Luke has never seen a raw power display like that because Vader has never just blatantly done a raw power display like that. Instead, his power is more controlled because he actually uses it. So he can still scale over.
So the thing is, though, he still has seen like raw power displayed from Palpatine in Return of the Jedi, right? Who Vader directly scales to. And in fact, like if you read through like say like the novelizations or even through these Vader comics, it is heavily implied, if not blatantly like shown the relationship between Vader and Palpatine throughout the entire comic series. And especially towards the end of the comic run, like Palpatine just kind of ragdolls Vader like constantly. And like especially towards the end where he just makes Vader submit to his will before he is redeemed by the end of the movie.
Um, I wouldn't say that like full power Vader is probably might be over, but I'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
I'll but what raw power instance are you talking about? Like let me I should probably clarify what I mean by raw power. I
Okay.
mean like power that is untrained. Power that isn't that has almost no control to it. It's basically just like completely raw force energy. It has no control. So that's what I mean by raw, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. The thing is though, like after this statement is made, they Ray and Ben go into a clash, and every time they fight throughout the entire series, Ben is actively like trying to like convert her to the dark side, like constantly, right? Like, so he's holding back almost every single instance. And like this is narratively implied through how Ben talks to her, like in all three movies. And even in episode 9, like after a year of training that both of them did. And keep in mind too, Kylo has been training his almost in his entire life through training with Luke at his Jedi Academy and being trained by Snoke, who is stated to be at least relative to Palpatine's wisdom and power. And even then, it's indirectly like implied that Snoke is basically just Palpatine's puppet, and he's just speaking through Snoke anyways,
Yeah, I think.
giving
Oh my
giving
god.
Kylo no, you're fine. Giving Kylo more like raw not only just raw power, but like he's like basically fully trained by the end of the ninth movie.
Again, so like, hold on. Let me get the definition so I can like be more clear on what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're confusing it a little bit. So this is what I mean by raw. I mean like uncooked, or in this version, uncooked would mean untrained. So like it's more so like a potential thing that Rey has more untrained power than Vader. She has more
Mm-hmm.
power that is uncooked or untrained than Vader. The Vader's trained power can simply surpass her untrained power.
Right, and that's fine, but the thing is that potential gets lived up to in the ninth episode. That's what
Wait,
I'm saying.
the
So
does she? Oh, okay.
so
Do
so,
do
so
they?
I'm saying this statement it like relates to both Kylo and Rey's raw power in the eighth episode, right? Which they do demonstrate through that force clash they do with the Skywalker saber. Um and it relates to episode 9 because both of them actually like they go through like a year of training after the eighth episode. And keep in mind too, like I said before, Kylo has had much more training and combat experience than Rey, and he gets even more powerful by episode 9, making his power much more tamed and less so raw in this instance. However, this statement just correlates to them because like this is their power. This is it's kind of like a power scaling thing in the sense of like this is their power at this point of the saga, and they get to another level by episode 9. If that
Okay, so can you prove that they lived up to this like potential that Luke is referencing?
Sure.
Okay.
So the thing is, they are part of a force dyad, and it is stated or not stated, but it's implied that through the force dyad, they were able to go up against an amped Sidious, who is on Exegol, and Exegol being a dark side nexus for the Sith, basically implying that he's at the height of his power. Um, and Ben actually performs better than Rey. And the only reason Rey actually won towards the end of the fight is that she got massively amped by the spirits of the Jedi, like behind her and stuff. Like you can actually visually and audibly hear the Jedi, like, giving Rey like amps and stuff.
Well, hold on. By Ren, do you mean like Ben Solo, or do you mean like Ren, like the one that was fighting Ray? Like,
So this is after their fight. This is the one that this is Ren that's like redeemed as Ben Solo.
okay, does he get stronger when he gets redeemed?
Yes, he gets stronger when he gets redeemed. He's able to control like his whole being much more like capable than he was
Well,
before.
I'm asking you, which one do you have?
I would say I'd have the redeemed Ben.
Okay. Hmm, whatever. I can still argue against it. Yeah, sure. Okay, so, well, where's the implication that he lives up to his full potential? Did you post it?
Could you say that one more time?
I said, where's the? Did you like show me the implication that he lives up to his full potential? I guess.
Yeah, sure. Give me one sec. Okay, so to kind of go through this train of thought, right here. So this is a scan right here. So right here it states that Exegol is a planet of antiquity towards the Sith. So we could basically imply that the Exegol like planet directly amps Sidious to his basically max potential. This is also shown in the Vader comic, in the 2020 comic, where he's not only on Exegol and he kind of no diffs Vader, um, but like he's also stated that while he's on Exegol, he's like directly amped by the dark side.
Wait. Oh, wait. Say that last part.
So when Sidious is on Exegol, he is amped by the dark side, like to its fullest.
Oh,
Directly.
yeah. I can agree.
Okay, one sec. I'm grabbing another scan really quick.
Well, like, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so I don't have a direct statement, but it's still narratively implied that like while they're on Exegol, like Ben like visually on screen just fights better than he did as Kylo, right? Especially when he was fighting Rey on the ruins of of the Death Star 2 on a separate planet.
I think
Which
I think I did agree that he's stronger than Ren.
Okay, that's fine. And then he's also like fighting the Knights of Ren, who are also getting amped on Exegol along with Palpatine through the dark side. And he just kind of no diffs them on screen. Like one of them he just blatantly takes out with like a blaster, and he wasn't even looking at them on screen.
Yes.
And then so that would just directly scale over Vader at that point.
Wait, what?
Because
Hmm.
like at that point he's fighting against amped beings that are stronger than Vader.
Wait, they're stronger than Vader?
Mhm.
But where's that stated? Hold on.
It's not directly stated, but it's just shown and implied. Because this is Palpatine at the height of his power,
Oh,
who is also soul amped by
wait,
trying to sap their like souls from Rey and Ben.
but but Palpatine's like okay for a few things, right? Although I do agree that Palpatine is amped, I'm not sure if I agree that he's at like the peak of his power because he's like old and weakened or whatever. Like his body isn't really there any at all.
That's not true because like even though his body was weakened at first, like after he soul steals them, he actually just, starts to regenerate. And he like does this giant lightning storm right above them.
Oh, I agree there. Yeah, I'm just saying. Like at what point does like Ren ever scale to the Sidious at all?
Yes, he actually does better against Sidious, and the only reason that Rey was able to win is that she actually gets revived by Ren.
All right. Well, show me where he does better.
Okay, one sec.
Or like show me where he would like scale to Sidious if that makes.
No, yeah, that's fine. One second.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's see. So right here in this clip, it shows where they get so they go after Palpatine, and then he is able to like soul steal them, and then he gets
All
amped
right.
from
Let me
the Force dyad.
quick and let me watch. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah.
So, and then after this, Rey fights Palpatine, and then while amped by the spirits of the Jedi, is able to reflect Palpatine's dark side energy onto himself. And then after that, she actually dies. Like it's she's just dead, and then she gets revived by Kylo, who was injured after getting thrown off by Palpatine, like into that pit, but like is able to still walk around just fine. So like through that just alone, I'm pretty sure if Kylo, I'm fairly certain like if Kylo was given that same amp, he actually just wouldn't have died there. He would have just lived and been able to defeat Palpatine in Rey's place.
But why?
Because through their force dyad, they're stated to be relative to each other. Like
Yeah.
they're inexorably like linked to each other.
Yeah, I agree that they're relative. I'm just asking, like, why wouldn't he die?
Um Honestly, through his durability feats, like through the saga, like he just is able to take more punishment than Rey.
But what if he's
Especially
like, what if he? Yeah, but what if at that point, Ray, okay, Ray is like slightly under, like is are they relative consistently?
their relative consistently. It's just that um it's more implied though that the Kylo is like over Rey in terms of force ability and power and even durability because like again through their fights like I stated earlier, Kylo is consistently trying to get Rey to join him, right? To fall to the dark side. So he's not fighting her like at his fullest potential, except the one time when he realizes where she's not gonna fall and join him. She gets no diffed by him, and he only loses because of Leia trying to contact him through the Force and Leia dying.
Wait, okay, wait, but what if? Okay, but then what if Ray gets stronger?
Can you
Like,
quantify that?
okay, okay, no, I wouldn't need to quantify that because it'd be your burden because you're essentially making the claim that Ray is the same. Like for your claim to function, you have to be making this claim, or else you have no argument.
No, but it's stated even through the clip that they're part of a forced dyad, that they're at this point of the movie, they are relative to each other. So I've proved my claim through that.
Yeah, I agree that they're relative. I'm just saying, like now, like what demonstrates that Ren has more durability.
At this like so he's able to take stuff like a Wookiee bowcaster, which is able to sense armored stormtroopers flying, and he was able to fight through that pain while being conflicted at the same time about killing his father. And he even was like able to press Rey and almost actually win that fight. Um, he's able to take punishment through Palpatine in this clip and able to survive, you know. And
What does
although
that
he
mean?
is
Ray can't.
because she doesn't,
But
she died.
that's an argument. Okay, but okay. But when Palpatine did like the whole like lightning thing, right?
Mhm.
That could just be stronger than anything Palpatine did on Ray. I mean, on Ren, and it probably is because it's his lightning. But I
Um,
wouldn't say that yet. But I'm just saying,
you would have to prove that his force lightning is stronger than his normal force ability.
no. But you're okay. You're making the claim that Ren
Mhm.
has better durability, right? And
Mhm.
because you are making this claim, for your claim to function, he has to be taking a superior or relative force to the thing that Ray had. If he
Right.
does not, okay, if he does not, then your claim falls apart. But since you are making the claim that these things have to be relative or weaker, you would have to prove that, not me. Does that make sense?
Right. So the proof is that Kylo gets sent back by a Palpatine who gets like amped through the Force dyad. Like he soul sucks them, right? So they are like after they get soul sucked and fatigued, Kylo gets sent back by a massive Force push, and then after that he comes out of the pit, and after Rey gets killed by Palpatine through Force lightning, he's able to like hobble over to Rey.
Yeah.
And even then, this is like a greater durability feat from Vader, who got hit from a very similar like attack from Palpatine, who was weaker, and it was also him being amped on Exegol.
Okay. Well, hold on. A few. Well, let's go over that slowly. So,
Hmm.
I don't think that means that like he has greater durability than Ray, because I don't think you can demonstrate that that attack is necessarily more intensive than anything that Ray took. Like when she was amped by all the Jedi. I'm not sure if you can demonstrate that. But then to move on to like the other thing, can you show me what Vader took?
Yeah, sure. Let me get to the
Okay.
comic real quick.
Okay.
Okay. No problem.
Sorts of random things. Did not know that.
Let's see. Okay, so here is the first part of it. So this is during to the attack, and the previous comment at the bottom there, where he's talking about how Palpatine did tear Vader to pieces. This is true because, like, if you look at a different still in the comic, let's see, he's actually like partially made of like droid parts. Let's see. Let's see.
If he's made out of parts, can't he be nerfed?
Um, no, because this is a Vader that is like actively trying to kill Palpatine. Like he's bloodlusted at this point.
Yeah, but doesn't his suit improve?
No, yeah, this is like after the fact of his like suit being improved by himself. Like years and years later. And this is a bloodlusted Vader like trying to kill Palpatine.
I'm saying like, okay, if his suit is made out of droid parts here, can't his suit simply just be different in Return of the Jedi?
No, not necessarily, because the only major parts of his suit that were damaged were his cyborg legs and his left arm. But even then, he was shown in panels like in this comic to fight just fine with like these quote unquote inhibitations.
I'm not. Well, okay, they can be like not be inhibitations at this point in the story, but like later, like okay, let me try to explain this. What if he gets better parts, right? Or if he gets different parts, then those different parts could simply improve his power, so he wouldn't be limited to this durability feat anymore.
You say that one more time. Sorry, I was
Okay,
trying to.
so if his power, if if he gets different parts, and we agree that the different parts change Vader's power, then the different parts could simply just like lead to the conclusion that Vader is not limited to this durability anymore. Like even if I was to accept this, right? I'm not accepting. I'm just saying under the circumstances that I were to accept it, this would be the case.
Mhm. It doesn't like directly change his power though. Like even shown through these two panels as well, which are here and here. Like he's like actively trying to kill Palpatine. So it's not nerfing him. Like he's like bloodlusted at this point.
I
He
would
wants
agree that I would agree that that he wants to kill Palpatine. I'm just saying that like even though he wants to kill Palpatine, right? Even though that he wants all that to happen, like simply getting a different part would enable him to grow stronger. Like if like even though like yes, he can be stronger than he ever has been before here, but in Return of the Jedi, he can simply just have different parts that alter his strength, and that could make him even stronger than this Vader. So he's no longer limited.
other than a statement though, there's nothing really to further enforce that like through the novelization. Like there's nothing really stated other than that statement to show that that Vader during the movie would be stronger than this Vader. Plus, that Vader throughout most of I'm sorry, throughout most of Return of the Jedi, is like conflicted. So his power is inhibited throughout most of, if not all of the movie, because he's trying to actively convert Luke, and while he's like teetering on like being redeemed back into Anakin Skywalker. So I would argue that this Vader goes beyond that statement through the novelization and is stronger than how he appears in episode 6.
Okay, but didn't you say that his the parts that he replaced a few parts, which is like his arm and his two legs? What if that
Um
arm?
it
What
was
if that?
more his left leg and his left arm.
Okay, yeah. What if that makes the like? Okay, that could make him stronger. That's what I'm saying.
Stronger?
Yeah, that could make him the different arm and different leg can make him more durable, can make him faster, and could make him hit harder.
There's nothing to imply that.
Why?
Because how would that arm and leg be more durable than his normal arm and leg, right?
The one he has in Return of the Jedi.
Mhm.
Like okay, if the arm and leg are like different, right? I'm simply saying that Vader could take this chance to upgrade his suit. Well, like, hold on, because I think you made a like clarification that he's like droid legs, right? So
Yeah,
like,
the leg and the arm are super battle droid parts from Mustafar. And
yeah,
these parts are like old and like very outdated because they're like years and years ago. It's like 20 years ago. Like 20 years old parts. So you're
yeah,
telling me that 20-year-old parts are stronger than what he could have had in Return of the Jedi?
no, I'm saying the opposite.
Okay.
I'm saying that
That still
I'm
doesn't
saying
really account for his durability then.
his durability changes with the parts he has. Like, if the metal is stronger now, he'd have a different durability. Or like if the because I think like we agree that the state of your body affects the connection to the force. So like if the better robot legs give him a better like connection to the force because they're more human like, then he can grow stronger in the force as well.
Can you prove that?
Okay, if we know that the fact that he went into the robot suit nerfed his body, then we can extract, despite the fact that robot parts should be stronger than like average human fleshy legs, then we know that okay, your body state like somehow connects. It's probably due to the fact that the parts are less human like, since that should be the only difference, right? So if that's the only difference, right, then we can then assume okay, it must be because of the fact that it's less human-like that it's nerfing him.
But
So if he's
there's the thing is there's nothing in Star Wars to imply this and to even to like demonstrate that.
this could be an implication right here. Like this implication of saying because that's literally the only difference between the two is that
Mhm.
one is more human-like and one is less.
So,
That's
but
that's
the thing
literally it.
is, the droid leg is fairly human-like. Like it's shaped in the form of a calf and like in the shape of a foot. The only thing that's quote unquote not human-like is the super battle droid arm that he has because it's more like a mitten, like he has a mitten hand. But you can argue that the mitten hand that he has on the super battle droid arm is human-like.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
like so then your
in
point would have
human-like
worked.
and human-like, I don't mean like in terms of looks. I mean, well, okay, for starters, that would mean that he's nerfed by the Force. And then secondly, I'm simply saying that again, if the only difference between Vader and Anakin is that one has robot body and one doesn't have robot body, and if we know that robots should be like metal should just be stronger than flesh, but instead it nerfs his body, that just means that the metal, something about it, is nerfing him. And if the only difference should be the human aspects of it. So if he gets a different part, then the different part can simply be more human like, right? Does
That's
that make
just
sense?
not right. That makes sense. I understand what you're saying. But that's just not demonstrated here because he's like actively like trying to kill Palpatine, right? Like he's completely bloodlusted. He wants to kill Palpatine so he can overthrow him and take over the Empire. Like this is a greater rage. This is probably his greatest rage amp. This is the greatest amp he gets before he gets redeemed as Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah,
Like
but
this is
does it surpass his Return of the Jedi self?
Yes, because the
Why?
so the being he's on, that's a being that like just completely mind fucks you. Like it's supposed to mind fuck you utterly, like completely, right? So let me get the scan for that. Hold on. So this is the Subduo Verminon. That's the monster. I couldn't remember the name at the time. My bad. But um it's stated to like torture people through force visions, right? And it's a powerful force being. And it's like powered through the dark side. So this is a dark side being on Exegol. So it's getting powered through Exegol. It is able to like mind fuck you basically and just subdue you through like their will or just blatantly kill you. Vader, who was stated to not, he's not supposed to use like the Force because this is a trial by Palpatine to like strengthen his connection to the dark side again. He subdues it to Vader's will, and like that leads to the panel that I showed above to where he's like bloodlusted and he wants to kill Palpatine. And this is like a greater showing of power and force strength than what he has in Return of the Jedi.
Well, okay, but I already have the statement that just says that he's been stronger. He's stronger than ever before.
Right, but statements in Star Wars have been retconned and contradicted before.
Is is this one of those times?
hmm I would agree. I like
Why?
through the interpretation that like I have extrapolated, like this could easily be shown as like Disney canon just overriding what was previously stated, which Disney canon
Why?
has consistently done before.
Why does this one outrule? Like, why does this one debunk or contradict the other statement?
Because usually statements and or feats shown through
Faggot,
work.
faggot, 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 faggot,
That
faggot,
is
faggot, faggot.
crazy. Anyway,
Be a
uh,
monkey maker.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
anyway, um, statements and works made by Disney after 2014 have debunked and reworked stories that were made by George Lucas or Lucasfilm before the acquisition, right? So this could just be an example of Disney like just rewriting or just showing a greater form of power for Vader.
What would support that idea? Like why?
The
Like in this specific example.
mhm. um in this example, the thing is like it's already shown that like again, like this force being is like it's sorry, I'm like stuttering really bad. So this force being is shown and stated to be one of the most dangerous monsters like slash force beings in the galaxy, right? It's able to like mind hacks you and like submit it to their will or just straight up kill you. And Vader is able to just like subdue it with no difficulty. Like here, I'll even show you the panel where he does it and he
But
like
oh yeah,
describes the feat.
but why does that mean he's stronger than Return of the Jedi Vader?
Because at this point, like the Return of the Jedi Vader is like mental nerfed, right? So like even if you say that he's not mental nerfed, right? Or even if you say, I'm sorry, even if you say that Return of the Jedi Vader is stronger than this Vader, that Vader is nerfed, therefore would scale below this Vader, where he just kind of no diffs like this force being through his own force power. Like he forces it to its will through just hate alone, like through the hate that he's built up against Palpatine, right? Because at this, like again, at this point, he wants to kill Palpatine. Like he's completely bloodlusted. So at this point, he should just be stronger than what he is in Return of the Jedi.
For starters, I have the strongest version of the character, which would be like the not mental nerfed one. But then secondly, right? Just because okay, if we agree he got stronger from this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we don't know if the nerf made him weaker than this version.
No, we do know because confliction in Star Wars is stated. Like it's not even really stated, but it's like pretty much shown that it just nerfs people like like directly. Like if we
Yeah,
look at Anakin, like when he was on
hold on.
Mustafar, when he had the Sith eyes, like he was fully engrossed in the dark side. But then before he talked to Palpatine and I'm sorry, before he talked to Padme and Obi-Wan, he's like crying and like conflicted about what he just did.
I would agree, but hold on. Let me tell you something, right? So
Wait,
if
but so
we
if you agree,
hold on,
then if you
hold
agree, then like then that would mean that his confliction in the sixth movie just like makes him not like strong. Then that statement in the novelization is just not it's not valid.
explain this though. But no, I don't think it would lead to that conclusion. So for starters, let's say you have X, right? You have X. You
Okay.
add Y, but then you subtract Z, right? We don't know if X is now like smaller than just the new X is smaller than the old X. We don't know that anymore because you just added and subtracted two unknowns. So if we added and subtracted two unknowns, then we can't make any claims upon what is unknown.
So what is unknown in this instance?
Okay, what is unknown is the quantification of the amp. We don't know how much stronger he got, and we don't know how much weaker he got.
But we can infer that this is a really strong amp considering that he's going after a Sidious that is amped like on the ancient Sith planet Exegol. Like it's stated to be like the home planet of where the Sith's power derives from in the Disney canon.
Yeah, I would agree, right?
So then if you
But
agree, then you agree that this amp is stronger than the statement that
oh
talks about Vader in the novelization.
no, I'm agreeing that like he gets strong, right? The issue is that like the statement just says that he's stronger than he ever has been before, which would include this. Like just because he does this doesn't mean it contradicts the statement. It just means that he's stronger. It doesn't mean anything.
I just don't believe that interpretation because like it's if he's able to mind hacks and force one of the strongest force beings in the galaxy like to his will and he's actively like trying to fight a Palpatine through like this being and like he's bloodlusted, he's actively stronger than he ever was in like episode 6. So the statement in
Why?
the novelization would just be invalid.
No, but okay, my issue is that I don't think you can prove that these two unknowns would outweigh the other unknown. We
No,
don't know that.
that's not an unknown. That's something you can make through inference. Like you can infer that through
Yeah, but
the
you can't
canons.
you can't you can't by unknown I mean like unquantifiable. Like you can't quantify any of this. Like you can't quantify how much stronger he is. You can't quantify how much weaker he is. We can both say, oh well, they're both significant. But what is both significant? Like is two minus one is significant for two, but 100 minus two isn't significant. Like there's like do you understand? Like we can
No,
argue
I
about.
understand.
Yeah, okay. So like my issue is just like I don't know if we can do this. So I think we should move on. I
We
think
can leave it up to the judges to
yeah.
judging. I'm
Okay.
fine with that.
So okay.
And then
Um,
if you want, we can just go over WinCon.
yeah. Wait.
Unless you have a different argument for Vader over Kylo at this point.
I don't think have I. I mean, I'm kind of banking on if I've scaled him. I'm just banking on the fact that I beat your scaling, but it's fine. I think I have to go soon anyway, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you have to go, then we can just go straight to conclusions. We don't even have to go over WinCon. We can just kind of go over the WinCon as like the conclusion, if that's fine. Because I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, I think like my win. I was just gonna say like I think I debunked his scaling, so he wouldn't have any scaling basically. And so, like, I would just have to say, like, okay, Vader scales to Sidious. Because I think he said that, like, in the somewhere. Or, like, I think we both agreed that Vader did something that's, like, stronger than the average person. So as long as I, like, say that, then we're good. Like, that'd basically just be where I stand. Since I haven't scaled them.
So we're just going over like WinCon or conclusions right now. I think that shown through Kylo slash Ben Solo's like power displayed at the end of episode 9 and like statements basically showing that he has greater power than potential
Wait,
than
hold up. Give me 1 second.
yeah, that's fine. I'm not doing that. My ass would have lost to Rejoinder earlier if I did that. I took like fucking 5 minutes to look for a statement. I couldn't remember where it was. I think it is like
that 80% statement.
Yeah, it's somewhere in that fucking video that Sajin posted.
Bro, I went to that Seth video. I found that shit in a second.
All right, I have a tip for you, Zora. If you're trying to look for scans, like, did you already post that against Dragon?
No, I couldn't
Oh.
fucking find it. I didn't. I talked
Guys
about
still
it, and
debating?
Dragon just kind of like accepted it.
Oh, because I was about to
So,
say
I'm-
you can.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that
It
nigga
was
Nightflame
just for
did
finding
not
like
scroll.
scans. I was gonna say if he posted it,
No. But
you can
we'll
go
just talk about it
his
after.
messages.
It's fine. Because I know what you're gonna say, but like we'll just talk about it after. It's totally fine. What the fuck is that? Dies of Keno 19.
Why y'all always bullying my nigga Keno?
Bro, he's
We do not care. Seth is alive. Yeah, you did. I was agreeing with you. Why you like this? You always hating on me, bro. I always be on this nigga side. I won't name one time while I was against him.
Hey guys, is the debate done?
no, not
No.
yet.
Shut up, you dirty pedo.
What are you saying, bro?
No, why you say that?
What you mean, bro? Stop.
What you mean? What you mean?
Oh my god, got me such a homeless up. I just don't fuck with you,
Bro, I
man.
fuck with you so much, bro. You know you my homie, bro. We just joking. Chill out.
Alright. It's cool.
What a suck up.
You have to
Well-
survive 20 minutes, bro. Yeah, I'm going with alligator.
All right, wait. Yo, Nightflame, are you back?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just
Nightflame?
go over. I'll go over my WinCon. So I think through statements and through demonstrations alone, Ben Solo slash Kylo would just be able to overpower and just he would just be able to overpower Vader through force power alone and just even brute strength him. Even though Vader has shown like good like feats with like his robotic arms and shit, Kylo just would be able to brute strength that. through being able to be relative to Rey and even Palpatine by the end of episode 9.
Why did you agree? Oh my! Why did you agree to fucking?
Okay. Anyway, wait. Can you show me him being relative to Palpatine?
I mean, at this point, we're just talking about WinCon, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, but like, I didn't agree to that. That this is my.
I mean, I can just drop that part of my WinCon, which is fine.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I still think at the very least he is relative to Rey, who was able to swap hands with Palpatine, being amped through the Force Ghost.
Yeah, but
The
does
Force dyad.
Ren scale to like Force Ghost Ray?
You timed out Fortune.
Keep him timed out, bruh.
Yeah, keep him
All
timed
right.
up, right? Keep him. um, yes, because through even amped through the Force Ghosts or like the Jedi, like light side power, that just gives her like brute strength, but that wouldn't make her over Kylo in terms of training, in terms of force ability.
Well, like, I would agree that maybe like Ren. Okay, well, what do you mean by Force ability? Let me ask you that.
Because Ren has shown throughout the sequels, like his force ability is just better than Rey's.
Like, what do you mean? Give an example.
Being able to like completely freeze her, like it kind of like stop her in motion at times. Like he has like that ability to where he can just freeze things in motion.
Do you mean like hack, basically? Like Ren has better like hacks abilities when it comes to the Force?
You could consider it a hacks, but it's like it is stated to be a force ability of his.
Um, yeah, I could agree that like Ren has better hacks, but I could agree that Ren has better.
Oh,
Okay,
there we go.
I agree. I agree that like Ren has better hacks, but I'm
Mhm.
just saying like I think I'm mainly going off of like power. Like I can agree that Ren has like hacks and whatnot. I'm simply just arguing from like a power perspective. Does like does Ren have power on par with Rey?
Through the force dyad, because it's even stated before like he becomes redeemed as Ben Solo that they have a force dyad, like they're connected.
Well, yeah. Yes,
So if
but
you're
does that
saying
make him does like is he relative to like Ghost Amp Rey? Like does he just get that power?
through the force dyad, yes.
So he's relative to Ghost Amp Ray.
Because
Why?
through the force dyad, he would be able to get the same kind of amp
Why?
because of their connection to each other through the force.
But why does that mean? Okay. But why does that mean that he has superior? Okay, like it does
I'm
the
not
first
saying
force.
like no. I'm not saying he's superior to like Ray at that point, right? You can just say through the force dyad that they're relative. They would get the same kind of amp against Palpatine, and like he would be able to be like you could put Kylo in the same position. Like this is what I'm trying to say. You can put Kylo in the same position as Rey was, and he would be able to perform just about the same, if not better.
So like, if he got the same amp, then he would be the same.
Yes, and it's implied that they could probably get the same amp anyhow through the Force dyad due to their
Right.
strong connection to the Force in each
Okay.
other.
Then he doesn't really scale to full power Ray. It's just if he was in like by full power Ray, I mean like full ghosty Ray. It's just like if he's in the same situation, then then uh then he would do the same.
Would that not mean that he would just get? So the thing is, he would just get the same amp through the Force dyad.
Yeah, but it's temporary, is it not?
The amp was active through the entire Force clash between her and Palpatine. So the amp
I'm
stopped.
simply
So the amp stopped until she was like dead.
yeah, but you don't get temporary amps. How that works.
Wait, what?
You don't get like temporary amps, like temporary. It only comes like when she's fighting like it only comes when she's fighting Palpatine in a like extreme circumstance.
I would still, so even if they don't scale the Palpatine, right? They still like Kylo would still at the very least scale to Rey, right? Who was able to swap hands and be Palpatine after, even though she did die, right?
Well, yeah, okay. Even if I'm granting you the fact that he gets this amp, right? If I grant you that, then he doesn't actually get to have it in the fight against Vader. Temporary.
No, yeah, that like I'm not saying he gets it. He would. So like, hmm. You know what? I'll just leave that up to judging. I'll honestly leave that up to interpretation.
And then
I still think that he would be able to get that same kind of amp through the Force dyad, through their Force connection.
so then what scaling should I use? Scale Vader now. Isn't it stated that Ren has like the bloodline of both the strongest Jedi and Sith?
I know which statement you're talking about. It's stated he's talking about the Skywalker bloodline. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would mean Vader's the most powerful Sith.
But there's more statements and more interpretations that give Sidious like, you know, the moniker of the most powerful Sith, right? Even through like that same scene in or like it's not like the same scene, right? It's after Kylo gets pushed off into the pit. Sidious states that you cannot stop the return of the Sith, right? Implying that he is like the embodiment of the Sith at this point. So
Well,
he
yeah.
is of the Sith. So this would scale him to be over the Sith before him.
Well, no, it just means that at this point he is the Sith. Like Vader can still be stronger than him at a different point.
Can you show that? Like, can you show that Vader as a Sith goes over Sidious?
The statement that's saying through his bloodline he is the most powerful. Like he has the
So then
bloodline most Sith.
do you have anything that can prove that statement is reliable? Like something that like we can actually trust?
Why wouldn't it be reliable?
Why would it be?
Nigga, no, if you already accepted it as being like a statement, like why are you like you're pushing this
So
baseless skepticism upon the
right,
statement?
but so I accepted it as like a statement made, right? I didn't
Mm,
accept it as like like it is 100% a truth. I accepted it as like, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, okay. So if you're like aware of the statement, like it's published by an official source, right? Then like
Mhm.
what skepticism does the statement have? Like,
Through
are you aware? Are you aware that all skepticism has a burden? Let's get that out of the way.
yes.
Like, okay. So then, like, what skepticism? What like standing does a skepticism have?
Through other statements and feats within the Star Wars saga.
Like what?
Let me get a couple of them.
Oh wait, no. Wait, we already went over it. Yeah, that was the one. And
What do you mean?
didn't we go over this point? Like what statements would address this? No, I don't think you can. Because do you remember when I debated Troy? I remember this, and you really only get
Yeah,
one.
the person conceded it already. They can't come back to it.
Yeah, once we go over it. No. Like once we go over that one thing, like if I ask him, okay, what contradicts the statement? He can't just keep going. Like after I. Yeah, but that's like the one thing. Like
Yeah, but that's like
he can't just keep going. Does that make sense? All right, well, then I'll go. Then this is the last time. This is the last time. I should have just said we already went over it. So this is the last time.
Okay, that's fine. 1 second. I'm still grabbing this again.
While you do that, give me 3 seconds. I just need to put my phone on it.
Yeah, that's fine.
feel good, Zora.
Smurf, I don't want to say anything rude, but NF really just made a mistake a little bit. I'm just saying. I know.
This
It's just...
bro, this nigga sounds like Cloudy.
Wait, I might just have it in my scan server, actually. I think.
Nah, bro. Wow. Darth Vader love. God damn, I love Vader.
There it is. Da, 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 do, 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 do. Ba-ba-dum. I know. There is
Hey,
this statement, and then there is.
are you gonna delete this Draken post, Zora?
Which one?
You put a Vader statement in while you were doing issue 1, but it's if you're doing it in sequential order, it's weird just to put issue 5 in where issue 1 is. I was just saying, are you just gonna delete that or something?
Wait,
Like
where
if you
is
scroll
that?
up, there's gonna be one. Go to Darth Vader, and he's gonna scroll up. It says, "And in a kyber crystal vision, Anakin in Vader's suit kills Sidious." Source: Dark Vader, 2017, issue
Oh,
5.
no.
It's right where.
That's fine. That's fine. So that
No,
that can be taken as a different interpretation from somebody else, because the scans that I post in there, those are my interpretations of what's happening on the page, right? So that's fine.
Mhm.
I don't care if people post things out of order. It's just that when I read through something, I'm doing it all at once. It's like a huge dump, right? It's a huge knowledge dump. So
Matt.
all right. So are you aware of this panel? Look in evidence.
Yeah.
So this panel, Sidious is talking about he's doing a mini summary of the Sith, and just talking about how through the rule of 2, everything led to him. So everything, right? All the Sith before him, including Vader, has led to Sidious, making him excuse me, the pinnacle of what the Sith could be.
But okay. But is Sidious okay? But does this mean that Sidious, just because everything the Sith led to him, the Sith also led to Vader as well? Did they not?
Right, but in this context, Sidious is talking about the Sith in kind of this ladder sequence, right? So in the page after, so he then talks about Maul and Tyrannus / Dooku, right? So he's talking about everybody, like is specifically more so his apprentices who are under him, right? And he talks about like his subjects as everyone who is under him constantly. Like it is shown through the narrative of the Star Wars
Well,
saga constantly. And
but
he talks
Sidious,
and yeah,
but
what's up?
okay, but Sidious, right? Sidious can just have can just be two things, right? For starters, this isn't like peak Vader. Like peak Vader would be in Return of the Jedi. Could just get stronger between these 2 points. And then
Mhm.
secondly, Sidious can just be like, well, actually, no. I'll save that for later. Just like he could be stronger later, right? So this statement could be true at the time, and Vader could just get stronger later.
Right, but let's see. Vader, uh, where? So this Sidious like later on does this to Vader. And this is a Vader that's like this is the same Vader we were talking about with that space beast shit, right? Like the fucking force monster. So
Right?
the
Yeah,
the
but
thing is,
I think
Sidious just completely destroys like his arm and legs.
we already went over like why like
No,
whether
right,
or not
right,
this
right.
Vader
We
is
already went
stronger.
over that previous point, but I'm just saying this is relative to the point that we're talking about right now.
Okay, yeah, I agree that Vader, like, he's obviously stronger than this version. Yeah, but I'm saying like he can just get stronger. Like two things, like he could be stronger later, and then secondly,
So
we
even
don't
like the thing
we
is
don't.
though, sorry, say your second point. Say your second point.
I was just gonna say, and then oh yeah. We already went over it. Like we don't know if this Vader is weaker or stronger.
All right, that's fine.
Uh, I
You
think
can
I
go over
can.
your conclusion first. That's fine.
All right, so I think that I've proven that because Vader's the strongest Jedi and Sith, that he'd just be stronger than Ren, who obviously falls in this category. Um, or he'd be stronger than Sidious, who's killed over Ren. So, yeah, but he just beats him up because he's physically stronger than him.
I believe that I've proved Ren is stronger not just through potential, but through showings, through statements and scans. I've also shown that Vader is weaker than he actually is portrayed in episode 6. Therefore, that Vader just does not scale to Kylo by the end of episode 9.
Good shit. First time for you, Zora, so definitely good shit. Off off first listen, I have Nightflame like high diff, but I need to rewatch it from the halfway point because there's a few things that I want to recheck. So I'm gonna do that and then give a definitive judgment once I'm done.
All right, that's fine.
All right.
But
Now, if I wanted to let you know something.
good
Oh,
shit for
go
you.
ahead.